Alright guys, so I am doing something today that I would not recommend teachers doing. I'm only doing it because of special circumstances. I am sick, guys. I do not feel well whatsoever. It's not the typical cold. I was trying to describe to my husband how I felt yesterday. Basically, right at the end of the day, I got like a migraine headache, and I was just extremely fatigued and sleepy. So when I came home, I went straight to bed. I think I woke up at about 6:30, 7 o'clock. At that time, my husband had already prepared dinner, and so I ate dinner, and then I kind of hung around a little bit, tried to play with my girls as much as possible. I put the little one to bed, and then I got back in bed, and there I stayed until I woke up at about, let me see, what time did I wake up? I think I woke up, I woke up at about 5:30. I had my alarm set for 5:30, but I didn't get up. I kind of snoozed, and I snoozed all the way till about 6. And then I forced myself to get up because I still really didn't feel like getting up. So anyway, I forced myself up. So I was still dragging. I am a little bit late, not super duper late, but I am not going to get there the time I generally get there, in which I usually try to give myself about 20-30 minutes before the kids get there. I might be arriving at 7:45 or a couple of minutes before that. So anyway, so I'm gonna go into work. I do not know what the day is gonna bring, because like I said, I don't have the typical coughing. My head is not hurting anything anymore, but I still feel like I have the body ache or the body pain from a flu. Prayerfully, it's not the flu. My teacher was out all last week and basically yesterday because her daughter had the flu. So I definitely do not want to deal with that at school, nor do I want to have that at home. So prayerfully, whatever I am dealing with, it is only me. It is not something that is contagious, because I don't want to cause an epidemic around these parts. So I just pulled into work, and look how messy it is outside. It's a icky day. And so now I have to pull myself out of this warm car. I really do not want to get out, but the time is like 7:30, so I'm doing pretty good. Students don't start arriving until like 7:45 or so. So I'm gonna go ahead on and hop out of this car and go and start baking cookies. Okay guys, I am in the building and pretty much settled. I want to show you something, because this is where I'm gonna be spending most of my day. Usually it's a big fight to sit over here in my flexible seating area, or the reading area, because I did tell them I don't want anyone over here unless they are reading. So, but I think this is gonna be where I spend most of my day today. So now I have to figure out what it is that I am gonna give them. I definitely need something that they're gonna be as independent as possible, which is kind of hard for my kiddos. But I think I'm gonna have them to do some work in their Wordly Wise vocabulary books. I'm gonna show you what they are right now. Okay, so this is the wonderful Wordly Wise 3000, and this happens to be an edition 4 book, which correlates to basically a 4th grade level. Now, I believe it's a little bit harder than the general curriculum, and I may do a review of these types of books. But anyway, each week my kiddos get a new list of words, and this level actually has 15 words. And so we do a lot of stuff orally, like going over the words, going over the pronunciation and the definition and so forth. And then in the book, they actually have different activities that will help them with really grasping the meaning, being able to understand the word, and then being able to apply the word. And then there is also readings, and I love the readings because it's usually something that they can go and do more research on. With this particular one right here, I'll probably assign them to research all 7 wonders of the world. This one is the Great Pyramids. It mentions that there are 7, but it doesn't describe what they are. So that's a great follow-up exercise to them actually kind of reading this and doing this. Now, don't worry, guys. They will not be doing all of this in one setting. Matter of fact, I think the group that's in this book, and this happens to be an extra copy for me, they actually already did A, B, A, and C, I think. So they're going to be tasked with kind of reading this and so forth. And I have to also show you another way that I use videos in helping my kiddos to understand their vocabulary. Hey guys, I am back. I meant to check in a lot earlier than this. It's actually about an hour before it's time for us to go home. But I was so sick and I was so tired today that I forgot that it was Mardi Gras and that we had planned a Mardi Gras luncheon. So basically, I had to really get myself in gear because I had to go and decorate and so forth. And another teacher went out to get our food. But we had a meal or lunch from Popeyes. So we had some of that Cajun chicken and red beans and rice. We also called ourselves trying to do line dancing. So I think my teacher and I did a lot more than our students. Needless to say, all of the kids weren't into it, but I was. I thought it was cool. We had a couple that kicked the rug with us. I don't know if that's a term. Anyway, going back to today, you guys, I talked about the fact that I was about to do something that I would not recommend to other teachers, particularly young teachers. So all you young teachers and teachers who are, I guess, even now that's in the thick of it, if you have sick leave, personal leave days, use it. I obviously can't because I'm in a bit of a different situation. I am working at a school that I actually started and that is still extremely small. So it's only 2 of us. And I am the one that comes and opens the building. So I guess you could kind of say I'm the janitor, the social worker, the nurse. I am all of those things. But one of the things that, or lessons learned, if you would say, or one of the things after reflecting over my almost 10 years and teaching in the public setting is the fact of how dedicated, and I'm not saying don't be dedicated, but I was foolishly dedicated. Like when I ended up deciding to resign from school, I had accumulated almost probably about a month or at least 3 weeks of personal leave days. Definitely much more than that in actual sick leave days. And that was because I hardly ever was out. Like I can still probably count on my hands the number of times that I did not attend work. So I was really, really faithful, but sometimes faithful to the detriment of my well-being, my self-care. And I think, young teachers who are deciding to go into the profession and those young teachers who are currently in it now, you need to hear, take your days. You need to hear, if you are sick, do not come to school. Because here's the reality of it. Particularly for you, if something happens to you, I hate to say it, like you're replaced. It might take a little bit longer since teachers are being poo-poo on and nobody wants to be in the classroom almost. But I'm just kidding. But the reality is, if something happens to you and you no longer can fulfill your duties, they're just going to hire somebody else to be in your place. So the moral of the story is you have to be to your optimal. You have to be at your best. And you can't be at your best if you're sick and you're pushing through and you're coming to school. If you're sick, it's your body telling you that something needs to be done. And so I encourage you to make sure you are not only taking your sick leave days, but you're also scheduling those personal days. And I think for us, when I was working in my district, we had maybe 3 days per year. And those were you had to actually request those days off. And so I definitely very rarely did that because of the extra leg work involved. But if I had it to do all over again, I would definitely make sure that I am taking all of my time. And so I just want to encourage you, whether you are someone who's thinking about going into the profession, whether if you are already in it, or if you're already real seasoned like me, like, give me your insight and your feedback about you taking your sick leave time. It is so extremely important. So I encourage you guys to make sure that you are taking all the time that you need to make sure that you are just working at your optimal. And you can't do that if you're sick and you're coming into work and you're trying to work sick. Make sure you take care of yourself, so that when you're well, you can come in and give 110% to the wonderful lives that you have been put in charge of to educate for this academic year. All right, guys, for those of you who were expecting a video on the series that I was doing for how I started my school, please check back maybe tomorrow, but it just was not in me. Like, I promise you, I feel so much better now, but I was not doing good yesterday, and I definitely was not doing good earlier this morning, so I could not foresee that I was gonna have the energy to even do this. So, all right, guys, that's it. I hope you enjoy your Mardi Gras. Go out, shake a leg, catch some beads, do whatever. If you know a friend that's in New Orleans, they're probably having an awesome time, because I don't even think they do school during the week of Mardi Gras, so, or the day of. I don't know if it's a day thing or a festival thing, but anyway, I enjoyed our little taste of Mardi Gras. And if you guys celebrate it, let me know how you celebrate it. All right, have a good one.